Ron Miller Race Car Studio, this is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for May 28th. Show number 132. We have a lot to cover tonight, a big show for you. First off, tell you we're coming at you live from the virtual Ron Miller Race Car Studios, because we're in different places.
Plural.
Yes.
More than one.
Coming at you live on Facebook, unless you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or Google or iTunes or Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify, pretty much everywhere. We got them all covered. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube as well. We always we got the videos up on YouTube shortly after the show. Once we get back in the studio after this whole COVID-19 stuff ends, we'll be back streaming live on Twitter and YouTube as well as Facebook. But until then, we are here and get that thing going there. If you want to join our list of sponsors, you can do so. $30 will get you 4 weeks down there in this little scroll. If you want to help us cover some of our expenses as our new format, our virtual Ron Miller Race Car Studio. Actually, we have hard costs associated with it. So thanks to all these guys for helping us out, which of course includes Ron Miller Race Cars, Big D's Pizza, Oakshade Raceway, Kester Mowing. Before we get to all of our sponsors, Paul Sroufe may or may not be with us. I think I saw him down here. Well, we were having some connection problems a little bit earlier. We'll pull him in just a little bit. He's going to be talking about Manchester Speedway up there in where is that at? Is it Manchester, Michigan, near Tecumseh?
Yep.
Well, there's some stuff going on up there. We'll talk about that. And I didn't know this. I saw Billy Joe Paxton's with us on here. He mentioned that his dad was a track champion up there. I did not know that.
Multi-time.
That's pretty cool. And also on the show tonight, a little bit later, we're going to be talking to Christina Henricks about the return to racing at Oakshade Raceway this weekend. No spectators, but lots of guidelines and procedures, and we're going to talk about all that. If you have any questions you want us to ask her, you can go ahead and leave that in the Facebook comments. And when we talk to her a little bit later, we'll get to those. We have a list already, so she's going to be grilled in just a little bit. Make sure to give Ron Miller Race Cars a call, Lambertville, Michigan. That's where he's at. 734-856-7223. Race cars, parts, safety equipment, tires. You still got tires? Bomber tires?
We've still got a few. Yep. There's about 20 left in stock. This weekend could wipe us out, and we'll do it again next week.
734-856-7223. That's Ron Miller Race Cars number. That's 856-RACE.
Yeah.
Thanks
easy to remember.
Thanks to Dean Henry, Big D's Pizza in Clyde. Give them a call, 419-547-1444. And you can save 10% if you mention the Hammer Down Racing Report. That's off any order. Pretty good deal there. And your chance.
Is that 10% on to-go orders too?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow.
That would fall under the umbrella of any order, I believe.
I suppose it would.
But we'll have your chance to win a free Big D's Pizza coming up a little bit later with tonight's How Many. We're finally getting back to almost a normal How Many. Details coming up. Thanks to Oakshade Raceway, just north of Wasion, where the fastest meet to race starting this Saturday night. This Saturday is going to be opening night. All 4 classes will be running. We'll be talking more about that a little bit later as well. And give Steve Kester at Kester Mowing a call for all your lawn and landscaping needs. They do great work. I can attest to that. Actually, a lady across the street just yesterday was like, "Your house looks so nice." I was like, "Yeah, I left it up to the expert. I had no idea what I was doing. I let Steve pick everything, so he did a good job." So I gave props to Steve, to her. But give Steve a call, 419-466-3801. Tell him the Hammer Down Racing Report sent you. Now, before we get to all the news that is fit to talk about, we're going to try and bring in Paul Sroufe. I heard a laugh. Do we get? All right, we got no video, but we can hear you. So before you sounded like robot from the planet Mars, but I'm glad you got that worked out. So very cool. Paul Sroufe, give us how are you associated with Manchester Speedway, and kind of give us a brief history for those of us youngsters that may not know too much about Manchester Speedway.
I got nothing on this end, Scott.
I can hear him.
You better flip a switch.
There's no video, but I can hear him. We're good.
No audio. I can hear you. I can't hear Paul.
Uh-oh. Well, I can hear Paul. Can our listeners hear Paul? Like I can hear you, but for some reason Ron can't hear you. I'm asking our listeners if they can hear you. Well, I can hear you, so yeah, listeners can hear him. Ron, you're just going to have to hang tight. Continue. Sorry to interrupt you.
Our listeners got nothing.
Oh, we cannot hear him. Oh, we can't hear him. I can hear him. Let's try to unmute. Nothing. We got nothing. Nope. Well, how come I can hear him and nobody else can hear him?
Scott,
what's going on? I can hear you, but I guess nobody else can hear you. It was a good show for me. I mean, I could hear you what was going on. Let's how about, can you try reconnecting one more time? Uh-oh. Now I don't hear you either. Paul, you still there? Can you try joining in one more time, and I'll pull you back in, and we'll see if they can hear you this time. Sorry about that. That's all right. All right. Well, that's what a live show is all about. Well, he's going to try and get reconnected here. I could hear him fine. He sounded great to me.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, I see him now. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Can you see him at least, Ron?
I can see him.
Okay. Can you hear him?
Hey, can you hear me, Paul?
Yes, I can.
All right.
All
this
right.
is amazing. Scott, you've done it.
I did nothing. All I did was I saw his face and I clicked on it. So Matt Swander says I'm hearing voices in my head. No, see, he's right there. Wait, I keep forgetting it's backwards. He's right there.
Can you hear me meow?
Absolutely.
So again, Paul Sroufe, again, let's start over since nobody could hear you except for me, apparently. Tell us. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me bring you back in here. You disappeared. All right. I think you're back. All right. Say something, good? Paul. Uh-oh. We're getting a little bit this modern technology. I don't know. I think we're losing you, Paul.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear him, Ron?
I was breaking up, Scott.
Hold on, let me see if I turn off your video.
Testy 1 2. Testy 1 2.
Can you hear him? I hear him.
I can.
All right, we can hear you. So maybe this will work. We'll just leave the video off. So go ahead and tell us again how you're associated with Manchester Speedway, and give a little history about it.
I grew up in Manchester, and my father raced there. And it opened in '62 and closed in '76. And I just remember going as a child, and they were just a bunch of my heroes that raced there. And my friend owns the property. And one day he was talking to me, and he sees a smile when I go and show up there. He sees a smile on my face. And he said one day, if I would like to have a party there. It took off from there.
When was that?
August is the party. We had the first party last year, and August 8th is the party we're having this year. And we got the track. Well, we got it groomed up pretty good, and the Vintage Racer Association's coming out with some of the old cars, and they're going to do some parade laps around it and whatnot, and it should be pretty cool.
I know some of those vintage guys. They don't do parade laps. Be prepared.
I know Hank Lower and all of them, and he's still not scared of that loud pedal, is he?
Say that again. You kind of were breaking up there.
I said, and Hank's still not scared of that loud pedal either, is he? Hank
No,
Lauer?
he's not.
Yeah.
Not a bit.
Yeah, he and can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he asked me if I would have a party there, and it was on from there.
Cutting in and out again.
Paul, if this goes over well, do you have any thoughts of maybe bringing the racetrack back?
Yeah, I would like a guy with a big bag of money to show.
Like a guy with a big bag of money, and then we lost you again, Paul.
Up one day. Oh, dang it. Got me?
Yes,
barely. Sir. Well, we'll make this. We'll try and make this quick here. I've got one of the pictures that some of the work that you've been doing at the track. How much more work are you guys? How much more work are you guys going to be doing at the facility before August?
Quite a lot. We're going to try to get all the trees out, and we're going to drag it and grade it and roll it and make it. Hopefully one day we'll have a little 4-cylinder race or something out there.
Really?
So
Yeah.
you said that the date of your party is what now?
August 8th.
And where could people get more information on that? Is there somewhere online people can go? Or
yes, you can go Manchester Speedway Memories on.
I think he said the Manchester Speedway Memories group, which is actually what I brought up here. Manchester Speedway Memories has a bunch of the posts here with the work going on as well. Now, is
the
it
Lester brothers?
Oh, go ahead.
The Lester brothers let one of their operators bring the dozer out and run the track for us, and it turned out pretty awesome.
It looks great.
So Ron.
Yeah, Ron, have you ever raced there?
Ron, have you raced there?
No, I haven't. The time that track was in its heyday was when I was over in upstate New York.
Right. Yeah, it's
we're losing you again here. For the reunion, is there a cost or anything associated with that? Is that open to anybody? How does that work?
All donations. It's just donations so we can make it better for the next year.
So this is going to be a yearly thing then?
Yeah, we're hoping so. And we got a car show going on. People are supposed to be bringing their hot rods out and showing them off. I imagine you can't bring their trailer queens out because it's going to be a dirt track. So,
any other plans? Any other plans to do any other racing on the track other than that 4-cylinder deal, or is that just kind of a one-time deal?
Well,
man, I wanted to hear the answer to that. You're breaking up. Come back, Paul. Come back.
You there?
There. I
Yep.
think I hear you now. So what was the answer to that about any plans for future races?
Well, hopefully one day we can have a couple races out there. We're looking into it and trying to figure out what's going on. And we're going from there. We're just playing it by ear and hopefully something special happens.
All right.
I've talked to quite a few of the older racers that have real fond memories of that. So they'd they'd very much like to see something happen there.
Yeah, I'm really, really hoping that we can. And Bill Kopka and Farmer Budwig, just to name a couple, were there last year. And they're the reason I did this, because I'd like to see all them guys get together, and they seen each other and they smiled and hugged each other, and it was the coolest thing I've seen in my life.
Ron, are you going to be there for this reunion?
What day is August 8th?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, you're killing me, Paul.
Starts at noon.
See, it starts at noon. You have to. Hey, I bet you, Paul, if you say that Ron can bring his outlaw late model, he would probably show up with it.
Oh,
Ron can bring his outlaw late model.
There you go, Ron.
Uh-oh.
You already said you weren't going to run a full season this year, so
Look what you've started, Scott.
you're welcome.
Like
All
I
right.
say, it's them guys got together at last year, and they all brought their pictures and their photos, and the ladies that worked in the concession back then all wore their T-shirts and their old jackets, and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
How much is left of the actual facility? I mean, I've seen the pictures. There's the track, and it looks like maybe a front stretch wall.
Yeah, the front stretch wall and the track is about it.
That's about it.
The stands the stands are still there. The stanchions are still there.
Huh. I would probably not sit in them if there were stands on the stanchions.
We're racer and
All right. Well, I think we're losing you again, Paul. We're gonna let you go here. We appreciate you talking to us a little bit. Maybe next time we can get you with a better connection and have you on here a little bit longer.
Let's do this again. I will contact you, and I can get someplace where we actually can get in a little bit.
Or maybe when we're back in the studio and we're allowed to have people in the studio, we'll get you in the studio. So then we don't have this to rely on this technological crap.
I hear you, brother. I'm good at it.
All right, man. Thanks for your time, Paul. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Sorry, fellas.
That's okay. Thanks, Paul. We set the hook.
Yeah,
a lot of racers are going to be excited about what you're doing.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm real excited about seeing y'all out there. And like I say, we'll get together and let me know when we can do this again.
All right. Sounds good, Paul.
All right.
Paul
Thank
Sroufe
y'all.
from Manchester Speedway. The effort's going on there. They have sorry, Chrissy has joined us already. She's got a nice little backdrop and everything set up there. Very nice, Chrissy. Nice face. We'll get to her in just a little bit. Again, if you have a question about what's going on this weekend at Oakshade or something you're not sure about, go ahead and leave that in the comments, and we'll kind of go through that when we talk to Chrissy from Oakshade here in just a minute. Again, Manchester Speedway, that's a reunion August 8th. And if you want to see more of the track and everything that's going on up there, check out the Manchester Speedway Memories group. It's a public group on Facebook. Just search Manchester Speedway Memories. 3 words, pretty easy. And you can see everything on there. It's a pretty cool shot, actually, old aerial shot here. Here, we'll pull this in. If you're watching the Facebook Live, you should be able to see this when I do that. And then I do this. And it's still pretty small, but kind of a cool looking aerial with cars there. It's so old. My parents actually went to that track.
Wow.
He says, yeah. I think my dad actually mentioned Hank Lauer, seeing him there. So cool stuff.
Scott, instead of heading off to the news, let's switch it up. What Chrissy's got is pretty timely information, and we can catch some of the racing news a little later in the show.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's since she's here, hopefully she's ready. She looks like she's ready. We'll bring her in here. I got a thumbs up. We'll turn her mic on and show her in here. Christina Henricks.
Hi.
Christina Henricks. I'm sorry. We'll try to be professional. Christina Henricks of Oakshade Raceway. It's been an interesting month, I'm guessing, for you guys out there, and probably a very busy last couple of weeks, huh?
It has, yeah, and it's been a real busy week. So.
Okay. So what was involved with getting approved to actually do some racing this weekend?
We had to submit a plan to our local health department. We submitted that, and she took a couple days to look over it, and then over a week said, "Mom's talking."
I hear her.
And yeah. Then
Why don't you just
asked if we could wait.
Put the microphone in front of Mom.
I don't want to talk. Yeah, she wouldn't do it. It took
Somehow
over a week to hear. Yeah, it took over a week to hear back from her with a decision, and it was just, there was a few things that she said okay, and then other things, well, you can't do this. So.
Okay, so what? Give us I guess, a brief overview of what to expect on Saturday for I guess it's just the drivers and the crews.
Correct. Believe me, we want to race with fans. I know there's a lot of disappointed fans, and we're just as disappointed. But this is a start, so it's a start in the right direction. But things are going to be different. We have to abide by the regulations that are set forth. The biggest thing is the social distancing. There can be no groups of more than 10, and you can't be going to other ones' haulers and stuff like that. It's just it's what we have to do. I mean, those are probably the biggest things that's going to be the most difficult for people. No one's seen anyone all winter, so but it's what we have to do if we want to race. So I do believe we're going to open the gates at 3 p.m. because it's going to take a little bit longer to get you in, because same thing, you're allowed no more than 10, and we'll have it spread out on the window wise, that like we'll let one group out to go sign in. I think we'll do 3, because I think we can separate them and social distance far enough to where so like 3 haulers will pull up, that they can get out, go to each window, sign in, do all that stuff, go wait for someone to park you, and then the next 3 can pull up, and that's going to be another big thing too. Is parking. We're going to park you. It's you have to keep at least at minimum the 6 foot between you. So that's a big thing. That I know, Scott, you put the forms online for the COVID form, which that is actually something that our health department said we had to do. You need to print that off at home and bring it with you completed. That's another thing that'll speed up. We've also talked, and did we decide if you wanted to put the waiver on there? We're also gonna upload the waiver that everyone has to sign coming in. So let's say, okay, Ron Miller, your group, and there's 8 of you that are coming. You all can print and sign on that when you come up. Bring that sheet. Hey, have the correct amount of. Yeah, and we'll give you the wristbands. You can put them on yourselves. So but yeah, that would speed it along, and less contact, and the waiting in line and all of that. So I'll email that to Scott tonight. I'm sure he'll get it up.
Got nothing better to do.
Chrissy, as I understand it, from the health department standpoint, this is really a test. And if we pass this, if we do well and follow their guidelines, things can open up more later. It's not that this is a way of life for the entire summer. Is that correct?
This is definitely that is definitely the plan and the hope. She'd like to try it, see how it goes. Yes, you are correct. It's we have to. We're gonna have to move forward at some point, hopefully. But that is, this might be a couple weeks. But and I know there was a lot that had asked. Yes, we are charging $30 for a pit pass, which is just $5 more than what we charged last year. That's only for the nights that there's no fans. So that's not the new normal. I hate that, the new normal. But
I think the racers would appreciate
another
that.
Another big thing I've had other ones ask you about the what?
Just the extra $5. As racers, we very much appreciate what you guys have gone through to make it happen. So nobody's bitching about that one.
You're gonna have to say that again, because I don't know if it's my internet or yours, but
said nobody's bitching about
you
the
can't
cost.
break it up.
It's all good.
It's what? All good on the cost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes. See, there's another thing in Fulton County that's going on this weekend, and that probably helped us get our, to be able to run. There's a big horse show going on at the Fulton County Fairgrounds this weekend. So they're, horses, yeah. And it's I'm not 100% sure if it's all youth. Oh, okay, it's not youth. It's an open class show, and when I say a horse show, I'm not talking horse racing. I'm talking a horse show, where they do their barrels and their bulls and, their western.
Kind of an FHA sort of event.
I didn't hear him either.
It's going to be
kind of an FHA or a 4-H sort of event.
4-H. He said it's kind of a 4-H event.
Isn't my internet, Scott?
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of. It's the not 4-H. Mom said it's not 4-H. Right. She should have done the talking if she's going to sit over there and run her mouth flapping away. But anyways, it's not 4-H. It is it's quarter horse. They're all ages. It's all right,
doesn't
ages.
Matter. We're getting off in the weeds here on that. Do you know if they're having
American Quarter Horse Association?
All right, there you go.
Anyway,
are they allowed to spectators at that?
Crowd camping, all that.
Wow. So is the health department, or do you know if they're going to be on premise? Do you know if the health department's going to be on premise on Saturday nights? Kind of monitoring things, or how is that going to be policed as far as the social distancing?
Well, doesn't everyone want to race?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody should be on their best behavior.
Well, if you want to race, you better do your part in social distance, because of this, it's got to be done. We will have deputies here, so that will be part on that. But I think for the most part, racers want to race, and racers want to race, and they want to get the fans back in too. So I think we're going to do everything we can to do that. So
okay,
yeah.
What about What about streaming? Will there be any way for fans that can't get to that aren't going to be allowed in for them to be able to watch this? Is it going to be Facebook Live or any pay-per-view or anything like that?
Well, again, I know I talked to you on the phone about this about 45 minutes ago. That's more.
Well, I'm
your
asking you
department.
though. That's not my department.
And knowing more on it, well, I don't know because number one, I'm not gonna have time to do Facebook Live. That I don't believe, but I don't know. We'll have to talk and see if there's something we can do. So,
I'll accept that answer.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Chrissy, I've gotten a bunch of questions through the week. Can I bounce them off of you?
Okay.
Sure. I've gotten calls from 6 different truck teams from Fremont, and it appears as though Fremont may not even open this year. And I assured them there was no way they could be added to this week's show, but would you consider adding a class as things open up?
You know, possible. I don't know. Yes, I did get a couple messages from a couple truck drivers. And yes, like you said, that's not something that we obviously can do this weekend. But we'll have to talk about it. I do know how many years ago was that we did do that.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was quite a few years ago.
Mom said it seems like yesterday. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. And man, I would really hope they get to open, but I understand.
You might have to consider. How about some 410s and 305 sprints?
305 sprints.
Yeah, and 410s. If they don't, I'm just. Okay. Anyway.
No, not at this time.
All right. Moving right along. Handicapped access. Some people that would have a major problem getting through the back gate. Will the gate off of 14-2 be open?
No. There will only be one gate to come in.
Okay.
Everyone will enter from the same gate. That's like you're allowed the 10 per car, including the driver. So you all have to come in together. You don't have to necessarily ride in the same vehicle, but when you come up to pay and do that, you all have to be together. And we're still working on the logistics of how or exactly where we're gonna park, but it'll be there in our when you come in the gate to the right, in our grandstand parking lot, I guess is what we'll park the extra vehicles, because I understand 10 people can't fit in a pickup.
Let's throw Dave Brickner under the bus. He's got some health issues, and he was one of the people that called me. Could we maybe set a half a dozen or so parking spots aside closest to the driveway for handicap parking, and make it at least as easy as possible for the folks that have some health conditions? And for God's sakes, if you're feeling sick, stay home.
Right, you have to if you're sick.
Yes.
Yeah, she said we'll work on that. We'll have a spot. We'll have a couple, we'll definitely have an area. So someone will be out there too.
Sure. The next 3 questions are quick. Next 3 questions will be quick. Is there going to be a fuel truck there?
Yes. I talked to the guy from, Okay, go on.
Parts and tires, there will be parts and tires available, correct?
Yes, Dittman, Craig Dittman from Dittman Motorsports will be here.
Okay. And finally on my list, is a UMP membership going to be imperative at this show?
Send me a message.
Don't give me that blank look.
Did you get that?
Send me a message.
They're all
That's what you
froze.
said.
Or I'm froze. I don't know.
We can still hear you. Can you hear us? Hello.
Hello? I don't know if it's my internet or...
I'm going to guess it's your internet. We can still hear you. I just can't see you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, look, there you are. Now you're moving again. You're good. What about the purse, the payout for it? All 4 classes are running, the late model, sportsman, bombers, and compacts. Is it the same regular payout, or is that going to be reduced?
No, we are not reducing the payout.
Okay.
That is why we're charging the $5 more, not charging an entry fee and all that. It will be the same payout. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had a couple questions I saw here. Oh, what about getting BCSN to televise the race? It's been a while since they've been out there.
Right. Yeah.
It's not going to happen for this weekend because I know that takes a lot of
that might be a little difficult
coordination ahead of time,
with
and
the
they
BCSN.
don't. Yeah, and they don't do that live. They
Right.
pre-record that anyways. But let's see. Oh, Patrick Barney had a question here. Are the crews allowed to watch all the races, or just the car they're crewing for?
Just the car you're crewing for.
But you can. Are the grandstands in the pits going to be open, or
Do what?
Are the grandstands in the pit area going to be open so they can watch the races, or how's that work? Or do they have to stay? Or do they have to stay right around their hauler?
Well, you need to stay around your hauler as best as possible.
I hear Pam talking.
Okay, you can go watch social distance, and then after that race is over, you have to go back to your pit area.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that, and the grandstands are pretty much the main grandstands are pretty much going to be off limits, I believe, right? On the front stretch.
Right. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Except for maybe Matt.
And we have no concessions. We weren't allowed to have concessions.
Okay. I did see on your release though, you got pop and water will be available.
Chip.
Okay. Becky
Yeah,
Paskin.
pop water. Yes, she said chips.
All right.
Yes.
Are we going to be racing for points and perfect attendance this year?
And we will. Yeah, we're still going to do points and perfect attendance.
Okay.
Chrissy, why don't you run over how you're going to handle the drivers' meeting? So there's no surprises.
We're going to handle that via the receiver. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Might have questions.
I didn't do that. We lost her. She popped off there. Should I answer that? Because we know the answer to that.
All right, go ahead.
Well, we'll see if she joins us again here. But yeah, the drivers' meeting is going to be done through the receiver.
Hopefully it goes better than this.
Yeah, hopefully. This has been a shit show for this Be Live thing that we use, unfortunately. But the drivers' meeting will be done through the receiver, so you don't actually have to go anywhere. And I'm not sure if Pam's going to be doing it or if it'll be Chrissy. Probably Chrissy, since she does that anyways. But it's usually Pam that we hear in the receiver, so I don't know. We'll find out. But and there will be announcers there. Myself and Rockin' Randy Roberts will be out there, so there will be announcements. So you're not going to be there'll be direction given over the speakers. How's that? We're not exactly sure what that's going to be yet. There's still, a lot of questions that are unanswered because you can't really plan for everything, every possibility.
We're definitely in uncharted territory, Scott.
Absolutely. So it'll be interesting. And again, she said the gates open at 3 p.m. for that, which is a little bit earlier. And I didn't even know that till she said that. So to allow extra time to get everybody in. Racing still scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. Again, 10 people per race car, including the driver. So that's the driver and 9 people. So 10 total per car that comes in. You must enter at the same time. Haulers parking 6 feet apart. She said they're going to have people there parking you. And I believe when I was talking to Pam earlier, they even said if they have to, they will use the main parking lot for where usually the spectators park if they have to. No four-wheelers, golf carts, mini bikes will be allowed. You must remain with your group at the hauler unless your car is on the track, and then as they said, you can watch from the grandstands if it's your car on the track. Lineups will be posted on my Race Pass, so make sure you have that app on your phone. No concession stands, pop and water will be available to purchase. Please have the correct amount of money at the gate. So have your $30, go to the bank tomorrow, Saturday morning, get some cash, get your $30, get a 20 and a 10 because they don't make a $30
That's important
bill.
because they will not be making change.
Yeah. Shoot, that means I got to get to the bank too. Please bring your own pen to sign the weekly release waiver unless you do that ahead of time. I guess they're going to send me the waiver, which will be up on the website after the show tonight, as well as the other forms that are on there. That includes the health acknowledgement form, new driver information form, and a minor release form, which you only need if you're bringing a minor in. So really there's going to be 3 forms that you will need to have, or that'll help out a lot if you have it pre-filled out and all ready to hand in. And those are on the website, oakshaderaceway.com, down at the bottom of the opening night article, or you can just go under track info and forms. And here, let's bring this back up here. If you go to track info and the forms, there's your health acknowledgement form, there's your minor release form, there's your driver info form. So those are the 3 forms, and the other form will be added here as well once we receive that. That, I believe, is pretty much everything for Saturday. And like Ron said, this is kind of going to be an experiment, and hopefully we pass. Hopefully we do as good as NASCAR's been doing, because this and Sandusky Speedway, the only 2 tracks in the area that are going to go racing this weekend. I know some other tracks a little further away have been racing and getting things done, so we'll see how this works out here. In Sandusky, if you haven't heard, they had announced Friday that spectators were going to be allowed, and then yesterday, I guess Mike DeWine chimed in and overrode the local health department, and so no spectators at Sandusky Speedway now on Saturday night, but still they will be racing. So anyway. So that's what we got for that, and we thank Christina Henricks for joining us, although briefly. We need to have her get some better internet out there, and we'll see about the live streaming for folks that can't get out there. I think Rod from up in Michigan, Racing on Dirt, I believe, is his channel on YouTube. I believe he's going to be coming out and at least recording the races. So it may not be live, but you will get to see it at some point. Maybe I'll get with him and talk to him and see if that's what he's going to do. Cool. Have we beat that dead horse to death yet?
Yeah, and I've been watching the Fremont truck guys, and for sure they did not say no to the trucks. They just said absolutely not this weekend.
Yeah, a lot going on. I guess maybe they'll revisit it if everything goes well this weekend. Maybe it's something they can look at for next weekend. And I know that maybe if the truck guys brought it in like a big sponsor or something, for something, then maybe that would I don't know.
Tim Baker, go out in your backyard and dig up one of those cans.
I'm not even going to ask what that's supposed to mean.
Tim Baker's got deep pockets, no problem.
And why is he got to dig up his backyard?
That's where he's got all of his money buried.
Well,
Chris Mize says thanks, DeWine.
Chris was giving me his unbiased opinion earlier today about that. Nothing that's suitable for this show, so we'll just keep it at that. But we'll talk about those two racing events coming up a little bit later. I was unable to get our weekend weather pit stop from Brian Weekman. I believe he's still on vacation until the end of the month. So next week, hopefully, we'll have a weekend weather pit stop. Till then, I'll sit in for him a little bit later and give you that weekend weather pit stop. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. How about we do a little bit of news here, because there's been some racing going on kind of in our region and nationally. Merritt Speedway was in action up in Michigan. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, I heard they had some really good racing up there. There were people in the grandstands. It was in the Traverse City area, so the Michigan governor deemed that to be pretty much open. They had to follow some social rules, but I understand that it went very well, and they will be racing again this weekend up there.
Yeah, two shows this past weekend. Chad Finley was a late model winner on Saturday, followed by Travis Stemler, Brandon Thurlby, Rusty Schlenk, who recovered after getting involved in a crash that sent him to the tail. Some other notables on Saturday: Devin Shields finished 9th. Bob Mayer was 19th. Rusty had a better night Sunday. He picked up, I believe, his second win of the season overall. Yeah. He started on the outside of the front row. Dona Barcoulier was 2nd. Eric Spangler finished 3rd. Devin Shields was 7th. Bob Mayer 18th. And Colin Shipley finished 20th. Colin was caught up in that accident on Saturday as well. So Merritt's getting it done up there. Lucas Oil Late Model Series, Josh Richards earned his first Lucas Oil Late Model Series win of the season last Thursday at Golden Isle Speedway. Tim McCready finished 2nd to take over the Lucas Oil Late Model point lead. Monday night was the first of 3 scheduled nights at East Bay Raceway Park in Florida. Jonathan Davenport was the winner on Monday, picking up his 8th win at East Bay. Brandon Overton won back-to-back on Tuesday and Wednesday. And next up for the series is Cherokee Speedway in South Carolina on June 12th. And then June 13th, they'll be at Smoky Mountain Speedway in Tennessee.
Scott, it's almost like they're running the Winter Nationals all over again and then moving back north a bit.
Kind of. They're running where they can. I mean, they're kind of just throwing a schedule together. All these series are, and they're making it work. Ricky Weiss got his 2nd World of Outlaw win in the World of Outlaw Morton Building Late Model Series at in the opening night of the Dryden Double Down Invitational Jackson Motorplex on Friday night. Ricky Thornton won his first career World of Outlaw race on Saturday, and he earned $20,000 for that win. Next up for the World of Outlaw Late Models is Davenport Speedway tomorrow and Saturday, Friday and Saturday, May 29th and 30th. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series was in action this past weekend. Defending World of Outlaw champion Brad Sweet won Friday night at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 after fending off challenges from Kyle Larson. Larson came out on top on Saturday night at Federated, and that was his 9th World of Outlaw race win overall in the first of the season. Next up for the sprints, World of Outlaw sprints, is Lake Ozark Speedway. That is also this weekend, Friday and Saturday, May 29th and 30th. NASCAR has been busy. They've got a lot of races going on. Brad Keselowski stayed out after the last caution during the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday. After that was rain delayed a little bit, started a little bit later. Well, actually, they got it started, and then there was a break for rain. So it went a little bit late there. But Keselowski came out on top and picked up the win in Sunday's Coca-Cola 600. Jimmy Johnson finished 2nd, but he failed the post-race inspection and was relegated to a 40th place finish. So if you played last week's How Many, and the question was, how many laps will the last place finisher complete? Hopefully you picked a big number. Wednesday night, the race was postponed due to weather at Charlotte, which should be going on right now. I don't have the TV on, so I don't know if it's been weather delayed or not, but that's scheduled to be going on right now. So
did you watch the truck race at all, Scott?
I'm getting to that. Let's talk about the Xfinity Series first. They raced Monday evening. Kyle Busch came out on top after a great battle. Did you watch that race on Monday night?
I didn't.
Busch?
We were busy.
Pretty good race with Austin Cindric. The final couple of laps, I thought Cindric might get him, but Busch got the best of him, and actually Daniel Hemrick got by Cindric at the checkered flag to finish in second. Now, Tuesday night, that truck race.
Yes, sir.
Chase Elliott was in that, and you might recall Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch had a little issue at Darlington. What was that, a week ago Wednesday? Yeah, that was the Wednesday night race.
I think the feathers have been soothed over a little bit, but I think Chase's efforts were definitely motivated.
Well, he entered that race because of that bounty that was put up by both Kevin Harvick and that other dude, Lemonis.
Right.
From Gander. Marcus Lemonis, yeah. And Chase Elliott, went on and held off Kyle Busch to win that truck race on Tuesday night. He even did I think he kind of mocked Kyle Busch with maybe grabbed the checkered flag and did the little bow. I don't know if Kyle saw that at the time, but Kyle Busch was interviewed. He ended up finishing in second. And this is how that interview went, which never did air. This did not hit the air. So this is, well, it's not really an exclusive because Fox put it up on Twitter. So
it's special for our viewers.
Finished just a little short, coming in second. Kyle, I know it was a frustrating night on the radio. What more did you need to get Chase there at the end?
I don't know. Just got tight. Sucks when you start the race with broken pieces after sitting for 6 months, so there's going to be some talking when I get home. That's not acceptable. And we got beat. Only took one wonder. One time. That's all it takes. Got beat. And don't have any charity money for Samantha's and my charity for the Bundle of Joy Fund and being able to get more babies out there. But bigger problems in the world, right?
Very gracious in accepting defeat there on Tuesday night. That Elliott earned $100,000 from that bounty, and that's going to go to charity. That bounty put up by NASCAR Cup Series driver Kevin Harvick and Gander RV and Outdoors owner Marcus Lemonis. That bounty again was put up for any Cup driver that could beat Busch in the Truck Series. Challenge accepted and completed by Elliott there, Chase Elliott.
And it was an interesting race, the whole race. And those two obviously had the race within the race, but it was a fun race to watch all the way through.
The $100,000 earned by Elliott will be donated to a COVID-19 relief fund of his choosing. Next up for the Cup Series, other than tonight, will be Bristol on Sunday at 3:30. On FS1, you can also listen to that on iHeart radio station Buckeye Country 103.7. The Xfinity race was originally scheduled for Saturday at Bristol, but because the Cup race got pushed back to tonight, the Xfinity race will now be run on Monday night at 7 p.m. And that'll also be on FS1. The Trucks, that series is off until Saturday, June 6th, when they return to Atlanta Motor Speedway, 1 o'clock on FS1 for that event. Just some other news events here before we get to this week's How Many, a chance to win a Big D's pizza. The Arca Menard Series East race at Toledo Speedway, originally scheduled for May 16th, has been rescheduled for June 13th. That's the good news. The bad news is no spectators. So that one you're going to have to catch on TV. Hopefully it'll be on MAV or something.
I think MAV.
Okay.
Maybe even live.
Fingers crossed. All-Star Circuit of Champions finally get back on track tomorrow night, the 29th, and Saturday at Park Jefferson International Speedway in South Dakota for a pair of 6,600 to win shows. The All-Stars have been silent for quite a while there. NASCAR handed down some harsh punishment to Joe Gibbs Racing number 11 Toyota team after the ballast came off of Denny Hamlin's car during the pace lap. Did you see that?
I didn't.
That was a big chunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I saw a replay of it. I don't know how they could have missed that.
Somebody goofed, and crew chief Chris Gabehart Car Chief Brandon Griffith and Engineer Scott Simmons have each been suspended for the next 4 NASCAR Cup Series point events as punishment for that weight coming loose.
That's a big deal.
Well, that weight's pretty dangerous too. I mean, that could go right through the windshield and do some pretty bad damage to a driver.
They call it lead, but it's their ballast tungsten. Is actually tungsten, right?
Yeah, when the crew guy or the track crew guy went out to pick it up, he like grabbed it and like went up and didn't come on. It's like he had to grab it a couple times. Like I don't think he realized how heavy it was.
Dave Kemmer says NASCAR is under a red for rain right now.
Well, there you go. You're not missing anything. So stick with us. The NTT IndyCar Series released an updated calendar on Thursday. Wait, that'd be today. That includes a doubleheader at Road America and the cancellation of the event at Richmond Raceway, as well as Honda Indy of Toronto. We mentioned that a week or two ago because Toronto's kind of closing down everything. The Genesis 300 at Texas Motor Speedway remains the season opener with a night race on the 1.5 mile oval on Saturday, June 6th. Next race after that on the IndyCar calendar will be the GMR Grand Prix on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course coming up on Saturday, July 4th. Part of that originally scheduled NASCAR weekend there as well. So, and I haven't seen NASCAR schedule go out that far yet, so I don't know if that's been changed or not. But if IndyCar is going to be there, I'm assuming that things are going to be going on.
No Michigan yet. Big article in the Blade.
Kyle Larson had a quote here about returning to NASCAR. Basically asked about his future. He's been running the World of Outlaws, won that World of Outlaw race. He says, quote, "We have the next 4 weekends planned out. I'm just happy to be racing race cars right now. It's been weird watching the NASCAR stuff on TV, but I also hope that I'll still be able to have another opportunity to race in Cup someday." So he still wants to get back there. I mean, that's cool.
And I think he will.
That's probably where the big money is, so he can fund his sprint car racing addiction. NASCAR Cup race lineups at Bristol, Atlanta, Martinsville, Homestead, and Talladega will be set by random draw, kind of like how we do it at Oakshade.
Yep.
Do you like that as opposed to qualifying? I mean, because it kind of mixes up the field a little bit more than having the faster guys out front.
Oh, I prefer qualifying, but on a dirt track, it really uses up a lot of time on the track, dries the track out. And if you do qualify, I hate putting the fast guy on the point. You got to do an inversion anyway.
Governor DeWine, we already mentioned this. Never mind. It was a Sandusky thing. I forgot we already talked about that. Governor DeWine nixed, overrode the local health department at Sandusky.
Yeah, Chris Mize has been active in our
I see that
comments there, and now you're rubbing his nose in it.
Is Chris and Corey putting together some deal for the trucks or something?
They're trying.
Okay. Keep at it. Yeah, that's pretty much all the news I have for this week. So how about we do our how many? Let's recap our how many from last week. Again, was how many laps will the last place finisher complete in the Coca-Cola 600? That number turned out to be 405 laps because the last place finisher was Jimmy Johnson because he got disqualified. So
and ran second doing it.
Yeah, so he completed all the scheduled laps, and so Kathy Miller is our winner from last week. She said 50 laps, so she guessed the highest. I guessed 8. You guessed like 20 or 30, I forget. And our online winner, John Young, picked the highest number I could find, 75.
Oh my gosh!
I know he needs more pizza. So if you want a chance to win a Big D's pizza courtesy of Dean Henry, all you have to do is guess this week's how many. Put a number in our comments. I'll tell you what that number should be in just a second. And if you're the first correct answer or closest to, you will win a Big D's pizza courtesy of Big D's out there in Clyde. And you don't have to say Hammer Down Racing Report sent you, because if you 10% off a free is still free, right? So this week's how many late models will be at Oakshade this weekend?
Ooh, buddy, that's a toughie.
Checked in. How many late models will be checked in?
32.
32, okay. Is Kathy gonna guess again this week?
No, she's taking care of my alarm system.
Your dogs are kind of quiet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 32 is a pretty good guess. I don't know if I should go above or below that. I'm gonna be optimistic and go with 33.
Oh, good shot, Scott.
Thank you. So if you want to play along, again, do so online. I see everybody's got some guesses there. So Ron Hunt's got 38. He's pretty optimistic. John Young, our winner this week's already picked 35. So if you're listening,
nice number there, Patrick. We appreciate that.
I got a text here from Chrissy. Apparently they got a new router, and they were just setting it up, or they were still working on it at 7:20 earlier. So
okay.
Apparently they have a little bit more work to do on that. But this weekend's weekend weather pit stop, we haven't had one of these in a while. Sitting in for Ryan Weekman, meteorologist from WTOL 11, is me, Scott Hammer.
Guest meteorologist.
I'm a meteorologist.
Meteorologist, that's the one.
So according to the First Alert weather app, looking at Saturday, if we can get through tomorrow without too much rain. When I was talking to Chrissy before we came on, asking her how the track looked, she said it looked fine right now. So if we don't get too much rain, I know we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow, we should be all right, because if we can get to Saturday, just make sure to bring a coat. It's going to get chilly. 68's the high, but we're looking at a big sun. The big sun on there.
Woo!
And of course, it just went away.
68 degrees for the low.
68's the high. This says 43 is the low. So yeah. So we're bring a heavy coat. Evening, some clouds early will give way to generally clear conditions overnight. Low 43. Winds out of the north. So it should be good on if there's any dirt blowing around. It's not going to be in your face. So there you go. That's your forecast for this weekend. Both Sandusky and Oakshade going on. So speaking of which, details on those events Saturday. That's when the racing happens around here. This is the first racing this season in the Northwest Ohio area. And we'll start things off at Sandusky Speedway. They're going to have the Pure Stocks, Renegades, Beginner Stocks, the Weekend Warriors, Midwest Compact Series. Pit gates are going to open at 3, racing at 6 p.m. And again, no spectators. They were told yesterday that they could not do the spectators, so kind of late notice there after promoting that they could. So hot laps, pool, pills, heat, and features 20 laps. Oh, I read that as one sentence. That was different thoughts, but that's Chris Mize saying that. That's at Sandusky Speedway. Again, pit gate at 3, racing at 6. Oakshade in action with a full show of late model sportsmen, bombers, and compacts. Gates will open at 3 as well, so that's a change. It's going to open a little earlier to kind of ease the traffic coming in, I guess, give more time to get everybody checked in. Racing will start at 7 o'clock. It pretty much will be a regular show there, other than the social distancing. And, that's for trucks. No for trucks. Oh, he's talking trucks still. So never mind what I said about the hot laps, pull pills, and features 20 laps.
Right.
That was something else. Sorry.
But the gate's still open at
3 o'clock at both Oakshade and Sandusky. So, and that's pretty much pit people are all that's going to be allowed. 10 people at Oakshade, 10 people per car. I don't know, Chris, what is the number of that? I don't know if they had a number. I thought it was they could bring as many as they wanted on Saturday at Sandusky. I'm not sure that number. We'll see if Chris Mize will chime in here in a little bit after 30-second delay as to how many they can bring into the pits for each car at Sandusky.
Thank you, Marty. It was a challenge.
Yeah. I did. This being a radio guy, this whole thing kind of sucks. I hate this. The sound quality from my this camera here sucks terribly. So I spent about 2 hours trying to figure out how I could get the audio from this little microphone here, so that when I put this up on iHeartRadio, that it doesn't sound. Oh, Chris says they want to stay at 10 per vehicle. So both Oakshade and Sandusky, 10 people per race car in the pits. But yeah, so I spent 2 hours trying to get this microphone to work, just so we had better audio quality when it goes up on iHeart, because the other one sounds like echoey, kind of like you.
You sound good, Scott.
Well, what I'm saying and what's coming out of my mouth may not make any sense or not be important, but as long as I sound good, that's all right. It's like when I had Don do the body on my race car. I may suck at driving or whatever, but as long as my car looks good, it's all that matters. And that only lasts one night anyways. Well, maybe one lap. But I might need a job this weekend. Ron Hunt wants to be on your crew, yeah. I think. I think there's going to be a lot of racers this weekend. I have some volunteers that want to help crew. So we'll see about that. That's going to do it for this week. Next week, I'm not sure. There's a big announcement that's been in the making for it's been about a month now. We've been kind of sworn to secrecy. We can't really say anything about it. I'm hoping that our guy will be ready to make that announcement next week. If he does, it'll definitely be worth tuning in for.
It will rock your socks.
This will shake the foundation of racing in this area, sorta. It's a big announcement. A lot of people will be interested in this.
Bigger than the rebirth of Manchester Raceway.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So if our guy is ready to make that announcement next week, he will be on to do that. If not, we're gonna. I don't know. We may talk about what happened at Oakshade and Sandusky, and it could be interesting just to see how that's going to work out for both tracks. So hopefully everything goes well, and we can work on getting back to the old normal. See, you like that? I didn't use new normal, the old normal, with fans in the stands and
yeah. Just beware that Big Brother will be watching this weekend, and let's do everything right. And knowing that, we can go forward and things will open up.
Yeah, but don't be a son of a bitch and try and do some stupid things and be stupid. Just play by the rules, so we all want to keep racing. We don't want to get, say, well, you guys didn't do this right, so you guys aren't going to get to race anymore. That's at both Sandusky and both Sandusky and Oakshade. I don't think it'll be a problem, though. I think we'll be good. I hope so.
Scott, I hate to bring this one up.
Oh, no.
Did Chrissy say anything about masks?
No, but I was going to ask her about that. When I talked to Pam earlier, she was not going to require masks.
Okay. And I have my own feelings. We won't go there.
Okay. Have you seen that? Never mind. Yeah, you're right. Let's just not go there. Let's leave that to all the people on Facebook to post stuff there. So that's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks for tuning in. Again, check us out on iTunes, iHeart Radio, all those other places. If you don't watch this video, which probably be better because this was a pretty crappy attempt at getting people connected. And again, we got to rely on people's connections since we don't have a studio to do this from. Everybody's doing it from their phone, their cell service, whatever. So we're trying to do the best we can here. Initially, we were going to go on hiatus back in March when everything closed up. And for some reason,
we couldn't do it. We couldn't let our listeners down.
Oh wait, I'm getting some text from Chrissy here. Answer to that question: Governor recommends them not required of people. That's about the masks.
Okay, so very good.
Your question at Oakshade. So there you go. Yeah, Dwayne Hancock. Get back to the good old days of 2019. That's right. So make sure to tune in next week. We could have a big announcement. I don't know for sure. If not, we'll just have a great show and hopefully a lot less technical difficulties. At 7 o'clock Thursday nights, we do that live. Last I heard, the Cup Series race was red flagged due to weather. That's supposed to be going on right now. And like us on Twitter. No,
Going to be another late night if you're trying to watch the Cup race.
Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. I don't remember. Just search Hammer Down Racing Report on there. And make sure to like us on Facebook. You know, we got a lot of likes. We kind of jumped up quite a bit the past few weeks. So thanks to all that. We're like at 2,200? 2150. 2150 people like this, and almost 2,500 follow us. So thank you. We appreciate that. I don't know why. I don't know why you do that.
It's a good thing there's not a don't like button.
Yes, definitely. But we appreciate it. Thank you. If you have any show ideas or, again, you want to become a sponsor, you can email me, ScottHammer@iHeartMedia.com. Shoot me a message on Facebook. And again, I want to thank our sponsors one last time: Ron Miller Race Cars, Big D's Pizza in Clyde, Oakshade Raceway again in action this week. It's opening night, full show, late models, sportsmen, bombers, and compacts. It's only exciting if you're on the crew for the racers because no spectators, unfortunately. And Kester Mowing. Give them a call for all your lawn landscaping.
Don't forget Kester Mowing.
Mowing, seeding, fertilizing, insect, weed control, and more. It does a whole bunch of things. So don't get fooled by the name Kester Mowing. It seems pretty limiting. So, but I guess you couldn't really say Kester Mowing, landscaping, seeding, insect, weed control, fertilizing.
And landscape design.
Yeah, that'd be too. 419-466-3801. That's 419-466-3801. Give Steve Kester a call today. So let's get out of here. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I think it's time for dinner.
There you go.
Good night, y'all.
See you Saturday and next week, 7 o'clock. We'll be back right here on Hammer Down Racing Report.
Be safe.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. Listen on demand on iHeartRadio.